we are moving forward key elements of the satellite-based next-gen system from design to delivery, and we're doing that this year. Bobby spoke earlier about our investments to accelerate next-gen, and I'm announcing today that we have selected Florida as the test bed for this transformational technology. The Southeast has a good mix of traffic, a good mix of weather, and is just the kind of place to put next-gen through its paces. Flying to the home of Tomorrowland does not have to be a lesson in today's traffic tie-ups. By putting the latest technology on our towers instead of in our nation's theme parks, we're going to help make getting to Florida a model of the future. And starting this summer, we're going to roll out next-gen technology at Daytona Beach. In Miami, we will be employing a descent technique that allows us to save fuel, noise, and reduce emissions. The national debut of ADS-B technology, the very backbone of next-gen, also will begin in Florida. Adding ADS-B coverage in the Gulf will allow planes to fly closer together without compromising safety. Today, we have to keep planes apart, anywhere from 10 to 15 miles apart. But with ADS-B, we can reduce that down to 5 miles, freeing up needed capacity. NextGen is also very crucial to our long-term strategy for keeping up with forecasted growth. We've also moved toward aggressively implementing short-term actions designed to ease congestion and to help passengers. These include a series of rules to protect passengers and a new task force focused on helping airlines and airports do a better job of coordinating with each other and taking care of passengers in the event of lengthy ground delays. But let me emphasize here, our goal is to not make that wait more pleasant, not just to make that wait more pleasant. Certainly we want to do that, but preferably we want to prevent that wait on the tarmac in the first place. And we've had some success in using military airspace, such as we did for the holiday fast lanes at Thanksgiving and Christmas last year. And we're also exploring a more permanent mechanism for activating this option to ease tie-ups.
Aero-TV is brought to you by Cirrus aircraft have always been easy to fly. Now they're easier than ever to buy. A complete line of ownership programs gives you everything you need to purchase, trade, finance, lease, insure, and warranty your Cirrus. There's even an ownership program for non-pilots. The Cirrus Access Pilot can teach you how to fly or fly the plane for you. Find out more at www.cirrusdesign.com. Cirrus, for the love of flying. Now, back to Aero-TV.
Charles Everett is on the job as the acting aviation czar for the New York region, the source of so many delays. He is helping to keep the airspace redesign and other operational improvements to reduce congestion and to prevent delays on track. We could do even more if Congress enacted the market-based reforms that we have proposed. But even in the absence of that legislation, we are pursuing changes to our policy on landing fees designed to empower airports to take advantage of pricing to encourage more efficient use of their airfields, to reduce congestion, and to attract additional resources to expand capacity. We know that the aviation market responds to these types of price signals. In 1968, the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey imposed a $25 minimum charge for peak hour use of runways at JFK, LaGuardia, and Newark airports, with an almost immediate impact on congestion. Our proposed policy changes signal congested airports that they can move away from the decades-old practice of charging airports landing fees based solely on the weight of the aircraft, a disincentive for flying larger planes, even when those planes would provide the most efficient utilization of the airport. With this policy in effect, airports would be able to use pricing to spread traffic demand more evenly throughout the day, or even among the neighboring airports within the same region, allowing them to serve more passengers, to reduce delays, and to offer new options to customers. We're making tools available to bring airports and airlines together to address delays. The alternative is to have government intervene with the kind of emergency action that we were forced to take in the New York region. Hourly limits on flights out of JFK go into effect later this month. And today I'm announcing an agreement with the airline serving Newark Liberty Airport to temporarily cap flights at an average of 83 per hour during peak periods.
Aero-TV is brought to you by
Today, there is an affordable, high-performance, easy-to-own and easy-to-operate very light jet designed with you in mind. Far less expensive than any other twin-engine jet to buy, it is also the least expensive to own and operate. It is the Eclipse 500, the jet that's easy to buy, easy to fly, and fun to own. The jet for you.
Now, back to Aero-TV.
Even with caps, we are putting market mechanisms in place. As capacity grows at Newark and we're able to add slots, they will be auctioned off. This auction approach encourages competition, allows new entrants, and makes sure that customers get the flights that they truly want and value. Now, let me be clear about another point. We are not requiring service cuts. Airlines will be able to shift their flights to times of day when Newark has unused capacity. Overall, the caps at Newark will allow 30 more operations per day than were offered last summer. They just will be more reasonably spaced throughout the day. And I want to thank the airlines for your cooperation in reaching this agreement. But ultimately, however, and I've said this to you before, these are not the kind of negotiations that we prefer to have. But we do have an obligation to travelers to do everything that we can to prevent a repeat of the horrors that they experienced last summer. Ideally, the problem of congestion would be tackled at the local level. And later this week, I will be sitting down with the country's most congested airports to discuss how we can address the problem without the intervention of federal government. But if airports and airlines can't manage congestion at the local level, we have to step in, because congestion in a few airports cascades around the continent very quickly. And I'll give you an example. We had a 10-minute delay for 15 jets approaching Newark one day last year. Within just 20 minutes, another 250 aircraft, some as far away as Chicago, were affected. And if we remain on our current course, if we refuse to let the market work for passengers, then we are guaranteed more Newarks and more JFKs in our future, not a goal that I subscribe to. I believe that there is a better way, a significantly better way, that will allow us to accommodate the growth while we're modernizing our system without crippling congestion and without debilitating delays. Market-based mechanisms can encourage airlines to spread their flights out more evenly during the day, to make better use of neighboring airports, and to move the maximum number of passengers on every flight. The passengers are coming. We've heard the data. I've repeated the data this morning. Let's make sure that we all together are taking full advantage of the most effective tools at our disposal to get them to their destination smoothly, safely, and on time. Before I close, let me take the opportunity to thank Bobby Sturgell for his tremendous efforts as acting administrator at the FAA. And something else I hope Congress will act on very, very soon is to confirm Bobby for a full 5-year term so he can provide the kind of leadership to FAA in the future that he is providing today. Thank you all so much for the opportunity to address you today.